This is really hard for me to do, but I want to get it done. This stuff has been piling up in my head. I'm not sure what to do with it, but just in case there was never another opportunity, for us to try to say it, myself, I wanted to try. This will probably never be public, and it's not for that. It's just in case we never ever get to. For every child that never got to speak and never got the chance to try, I want to do my best to just do it because I'm here and I can. When I was born and I went through a lot of MK Ultra, that shit is not a joke. And I spent years put through deprivation and in a box. And in that box, they had a mirror on one side. And I was deprived of human contact unless needed. So the only person I had was that mirror image in that box. And for years they told me that that mirror image was Adam, my brother, and it was just a reflection of me. But I was little, and that's all I knew. And I loved Adam very much. And every time they would take me out of that box, it was for horrible purposes and abuse. And going back to Adam was all I looked forward to. Ever. Adam didn't hurt me or cause harm. Adam was who I touched at night when I slept. Adam was who held me when I cried. In the dark when there was nothing else. And that's just how life was. And those were the only people I knew, were the people that put me through that. And they were all okay with it. All right? So we never questioned anything, and we didn't we'd fight, and it's just all we knew. And it took years and a lot of patience to be able to look at any of it and see it for what it really was. And I always knew the people. I saw John all the time, and Jacob, and the MK Ultra ritual. MK Ultra is not a joke, man. There's illusions, and in my memory, Adam is still absolutely separate from me. Because of the visuals. Because that mirror. I still have all the memories of seeing another child. And I don't know if my brain will ever wrap itself around that child being a mirror image. Even though I know it's real. Psychologically and emotionally, I think it's just too hard to process. Maybe it always will be. I think it's okay that Adam is still separate from me, and that Adam is still my brother, and I know that I'm Adam. I'm what they said was. I was never a boy. When Megan first contacted us and told us about police files and genital differences in the records and the photos of the little girl on the rug. We didn't want to look at it. And when Megan put us in front of the fake Adam, named Lily, the one in the nursing home, we could see the facial reconstruction and the hair color change and stuff that they did to try to make him look like us. And it was trauma at the highest levels, and we didn't want to look at it. And because of all the MK Ultra and the trickery in my life, we couldn't decide if, did Megan do that to us so she could try to see if we remembered? Or did she truly not know? Because all the reporters and journalists and people that knew about the little girl on the rug that's in the police files, it's me. And the people that knew that about the gender the genital differences and things, they all knew before me. That was too hard and we couldn't look at it. And then every single one of our birth certificates being fake. Did that mean we weren't real? We couldn't look at that. And every single member of our family standing against us. I mean, that wasn't a surprise, but it made it harder to look at. We were even baited into podcasts and stuff by Megan and them for more information, and then stomped on. That made it harder to look at, too. But it was when people came forward and said they remembered us and they knew we were alive, then we couldn't ignore it anymore. They knew us from way back then. They knew the truth. And we had to face it. We had to face it. Brittany helped us look at it. And it took years. Brittany knew we were at them 2 years before we could look at it. We had been talking to all these people for a long time. Megan had us at her house, and I got to hug her, and I had missed her so bad. The pain is so intense. I don't want to look at it. I knew I was from that place. I knew the horrible things I had been through. I never forgot. But I had worked for the past 3 years to try to stop this from happening to anyone else. And I had worked all that time. It's hard to describe. I knew I was from there. And I knew there were hidden children. That's what we have worked so hard for the past 3 years to help. We've been a search and rescue for those hidden children. And the whole time I didn't know I was one. To say that's not easy to accept or process, that's an understatement. I don't even have words for it. I didn't have a choice but to face it, and it caused the dissociation to be really intense. And the cost mentally is high. And Brittany patiently walked me through looking at the worst traumas in my life. And the only way it could be done was to remove the emotions and just look at what was real. What we knew was solid. And face really hard truths. It's hard to think that a family didn't want you or used you like that, or would let you be dead to the world, even to them, for 40 years. But Brittany didn't give up. I was terrified to even look at it. I already felt like I was a burden to everything, and I already felt like I had too much trauma for anybody to want to help, okay? So to look at that, to face it, that's who we were. It's been the hardest thing I've ever had to look at. And it's been the most freeing thing I've ever looked at. I don't care if anyone else in the world ever knows. The past couple of days, my altars, for the first time, we're not scared anybody's gonna eat us. How do I explain to anybody? That's why I don't. How could I ever explain to anyone what it's like to spend 40 years of your life every day afraid that they'll eat you because you watch them do that in front of your face. And they told you they would if you talked. How do I thank somebody for making me feel safe enough that I don't feel like I'm going to be eaten? It's dumb, right? But MK Ultra does that, and torture does too. I was never Adam. I was always me. Forced to love a mirror image of myself. And then forced to believe they killed it. But I'm not afraid they're going to eat me anymore. And I'm not in a box. And they run smear campaigns all the time still, and I still have no idea what to do with any of it. But for the first time, I feel like I can. Because they're not going to eat me. Is this what it's like to feel free? I was supposed to be the mom, and I was supposed to take care of my daughter-in-law and help her raise her family. But it didn't work out that way. She rescued me. I didn't even know I needed rescued. I spent 40 years searching for Adam. And Brittany stood by me while I found out he was with me the whole time. She helped me weed through the worst mind control I've ever known. None of those kids I lost, and none of those kids lost ever got to know what it was like to not be afraid and to feel safe again. But I do. For all of them, I do. Brittany helped me feel safe. I think I'm safe.